Hello viewers, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. R. Papa Ammal, Assistant Professor in Department of Science and Humanities, Avinash Lingam University for Women. Now we are going to see about the interrelationship between minerals and the hormones. The minerals form a lesser portion of the total body weight but play a vital role in the body. Mineral elements are inorganic substances that are present in all body tissues and fluids. Minerals are supplied by the diet as their salts. They may be present along with the organic compounds like iron in hemoglobin and sulfur in majority of the proteins. Mineral elements cannot provide energy, but they may influence the rate of biological reactions through the enzymes. Mineral elements are not destroyed by food preparation, whereas they are soluble in water, so that some loss will occur if cooking liquids are discarded. The minerals are classified into two main groups, macro elements and micro elements. Macro elements are required in large amount, such as more than 100 mg per day and present in large quantity in the body. Micro elements are required in small quantity, less than 100 mg per day, and also present in small amounts in tissues and body fluids. Calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium and potassium belong to the macro elements category. The objective of the module is to understand the distribution, sources, absorption, metabolism and function of the minerals, to study the interrelationship between the minerals and the hormone. The first mineral is calcium. 1.5 to 2% of the body weight makes up the calcium. 99% of the calcium is present in hard tissues of the body such as bones and teeth. The remaining calcium is present in blood and soft tissues, namely muscles, liver and heart. In the blood, 50% of the calcium is present in the form of free dissolved calcium, and 40% of the calcium is bound with the protein molecules, and 10% of the calcium is present in the form of low molecular weight organic compounds such as calcium citrate and calcium phosphates. Coming to the sources of calcium point of view, milk and milk products are the richest source of calcium. 1.37% of calcium is present in skimmed milk powder. Sesame seeds contain appreciable amount of calcium, such as 1.45%. Mainly the calcium is present in the form of calcium oxalate, and it is present in the skin of the sesame seeds. When it is dehusked, it will become a fair source of calcium, such as 0.15%. Green leafy vegetables are the cheapest source of calcium, about 0.34 to 1.13%. Small fish we take along with the bone is a good source of calcium. Calcium requirement for the adult is about 400 to 500 mg per day. So these are all the calcium sources. Now we are seeing about the absorption and retention of the calcium. Absorption of calcium is affected by number of insoluble calcium salts in the intestine, which include phytate, oxalate and phosphate. When the fat absorption is inhibited, excess fatty acid is present in the blood, which react with the calcium to form insoluble calcium salts of fatty acid, which are removed through the feces. The absorption and retention depend upon the first one, calcium intake, the presence of interfering substances, and the third one is vitamin D. The presence of calcium absorption is low when the intake is high, vice versa for the low intake of calcium. Coming to the functions of a calcium point of view, the nature of calcium in bones are non-crystalline form in early stages of life and crystalline form in later stages of life. Bone is in a variable state, constantly being formed and removed more quickly during the early stage and at a slower and decreasing rate during the adult life. In adult, 700 mg of calcium enter and leave the bones every day. Osteocalcin is a calcium binding protein may involved in the process of bone mineralization in the pathological calcification of soft tissues such as arteries. The blood containing calcium is present in three forms. One is diffusible form, the second one is non-diffusible form, and the third one is a complex form. Total plasma calcium level is about 8.8 to 10.4 milligram per 100 ml of blood. 50 ml of the plasma calcium is present in diffusible form, which is controlled by vitamin D, parathyroid hormone, and calcitonin. 40% of the plasma calcium is present in non-diffusible form, which bound to negatively charged albumin. 10% of the plasma calcium is present in complex form, which combined with the citrate, phosphate, and bicarbonate. The next one is a calcium balance. 70 to 90% of the calcium is eliminated in the feces. The major portion of the calcium which is released in the fecal matter is unabsorbed calcium, and a little portion of the absorbed calcium also eliminated through fecal matter. In man, about 10 gram of calcium is filtered by renal glomeruli for a period of 24 hours, but only 200 milligram of calcium is released in the urine sample. The average daily loss of calcium in sweat is about 15 milligram. The calcium balance is positive during the growth, pregnancy, and lactation. But a negative calcium balance is possible when the excretion of calcium is continuous on a calcium deficient diet. Hormonal control of calcium. The calcium balance is determined by exchange between skeleton, intestine, and kidney. Calcitrophic hormones such as parathyroid hormone and calcitonin control these fluxes. Calcium metabolism is regulated by intestinal absorption, renal reabsorption, and bone reabsorption. Calcitonin. It is released by thyroid gland when the plasma calcium level is too high. It controls the plasma calcium level by inhibiting the release of calcium from the bone. Parathormone, which is abbreviated as PTH, the parathormone is secreted by the chief cells of parathyroid gland, which is located behind the thyroid gland. That parathormone is a protein in nature and controls the amount of calcium in the blood and bones. When the blood calcium level decreased below certain point, the receptors in the parathyroid glands are activated to release the hormone into the bloodstream. Increased level of calcium is seen in more resorption of calcium from the bones and increase in calcium or vitamin D dietary intake. Parathormone play a major role in the calcium and phosphate homeostasis. Calcitonin and parathormone is antagonistic with one another. Parathormone increases the blood calcium level by stimulating the osteoclasts to break down bone and release of calcium. It also increases the gastrointestinal calcium absorption by activating vitamin D and induce calcium uptake by the kidneys. Parathormone and calcitonin secreted from the thyroid gland complement with one another and maintain blood calcium level. Calcium and hypoparathyroidism. Hypoparathyroidism is decreased function of the parathyroid gland which decrease the parathormone and hypocalcemia. This leads to the formation of tetany. The most affected muscles are laryngeal muscles. See the affected person. So it is a tetany condition. So the next one is calcium and hyperparathyroidism. This is due to the overactivity of parathyroid gland and excessive release of parathormone. It leads to high calcium level and low phosphate in the blood. Renal calculi may be formed due to the renal failure. Osteoporosis is due to excess parathormone acting directly on the bones, causing release of calcium from the bones. So this is osteoporosis. This is a normal condition. So this is a spongy bone. So because of the osteoporosis. The next mineral is iodine. It is an essential micronutrient required for normal growth and development of human brain and body. 15 to 23 milligram of iodine is present in our body. In this, 75% of iodine is present in thyroid gland. The remaining 25% is distributed in salivary, mammary, kidney and gastric glands. In blood, it is available either in the form of free iodide ions or as protein-bound iodine. Sources of iodine. Drinking water contains fair sources of iodine, whereas seafood being the richest source of iodine. Milk and milk products are also a rich source of iodine. Some of the areas where the iodine content of the diet is low can be supplemented through iodized salt. This is prepared by adding about 1 part of potassium iodide to 40,000 parts of the salt. Due to the solubility and harmless nature of excess quantity of a salt, potassium iodide is used as a suitable iodine supplement. The recommended dietary allowance of iodine for adult is about 100 to 200 microgram per day. Absorption and metabolism of iodine. Iodine occurs in food as first one iodide ions, second one free inorganic iodine, and the third one is iodine atoms bound with organic compounds. Iodide ions are absorbed rapidly and distributed throughout the extracellular fluid. Free inorganic iodine also reduced to iodine, then only it will absorb. Third category of iodine also absorbed after it is free from the organic compounds. 1/3 of the absorbed iodine is taken up by the thyroid gland. The rest of the iodine is removed by the kidney. Iodine also removed by the sweat and feces. The excretion of iodine is protect the body from toxic levels of iodine. The iodine which reaches the thyroid gland is converted into iodine. This iodine combined with the tyrosine of the thyroglobulin protein, which is an iodide storage protein. If the hypothalamus detected that the thyroxine is low in the bloodstream, it releases the factor, thyroid releasing factor into the plasma. The thyroid releasing factor reaches the pituitary gland and stimulate the hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. This thyroid stimulating hormone transfers to thyroid gland and stimulate the enzyme which release the tyrosine containing iodine from thyroglobulin. These iodine containing tyrosine residues converted into T4 and T3 hormone. The ratio of thyroxine and triiodothyronine is 4:1. Functions of iodine. Iodine plays a vital role in the production of thyroxine, that is T4, and triiodothyronine. The thyroid hormones play a pivotal role in controlling the growth and development. They can accelerate the metabolic rate by 30%, resulting in an increased rate of oxygen use and increase the production of heat. Thyroid hormones are important for the proliferation of brain cells and control the normal brain function. Thyroid hormones regulate the synthesis of protein and absorption of a carbohydrate, conversion of vitamin A from keratin, and low cholesterol associated with the hyperthyroidism, whereas high cholesterol level associated with the hypothyroidism. Thyroxine also play an important role in reproduction. Iodine deficiency disorders. Wide range of physical and neurological disorders are associated with the iodine deficiency are called iodine deficiency disorder. The factors responsible for the iodine deficiency disorders are categorized as first one is environmental factors and the second one is intrinsic factors. Coming to the environmental factors, iodine deficiency is a disease of the soil is likely to occur in the regions where the higher rainfall with a runoff into the rivers. This leads to a poor iodine content of food for humans and animals. Appreciable amount of iodine such as 50 to 60 microgram per liter is present in seawater. When the water evaporated to form a cloud, iodine also present and during the condensation form rain and reach the top layer of the soil. The food crops which is grown in the soil uptake the iodine and the animals by grazing on the plants assimilate the iodine. Goitrogens. These are the substances that interfere with the iodine metabolism. Goitrogen affect the enzymes such as NADPH oxidase, thyroid peroxidase and 5' deiodinase. Inhibition of any of the enzyme would disturb the hormonal balance, which leads to the deficiency of the iodine. Goitrogens can be classified into 3 types: class 1 thiocyanate, class 2 thiourea and class 3 excess of iodine and lithium. Goitrogens are present in some of the food materials like sweet potatoes, almonds and cassava. The action of goitrogen may be inactivated after cooking. Intrinsic factors. The congenital defects may affect the hormone synthesis and can result in goiter. Coming to the goiter, it is a non-toxic enlargement of thyroid gland is called goiter. This enlargement is due to increased level of thyroid stimulating hormone but low plasma levels of thyroid hormones. The excessive thyroid stimulating hormone causes high levels of both the number and the size of the cells of the thyroid gland. Goiter doesn't produce any pain, but if not rectified, it can cause pressure on the trachea, which may cause difficulty in breathing. Administration of sufficient amount of iodine results in slow reduction in the size of the thyroid gland. Goiter can be graded into 3 types depending upon the severity. Coming to the cretinism, it is associated with the severe iodine deficiency during intrauterine life. Clinically, the cretinism is classified into 2 types. The first one is a neurological cretinism. The second one is the myxoedematous cretinism. Neurological cretinism, it is mental retardation, deaf mutism, and squint are some of the manifestations of a neurological cretinism. Stunting is not the routine feature. Iodine deficiency during the second trimester of pregnancy is the reason for neurological cretinism. Myxoedematous cretinism. This condition is the result of iodine deficiency that develops in the later stages of pregnancy and combined with continuing iodine deficiency during the infant's first year of life. The prevalence of myxoedematous cretinism is high in people who consuming more amount of goitrogen containing foods such as tapioca. Hypothyroidism. Low serum T3 and T4 and elevated levels of thyroid stimulating hormone is responsible for hypothyroidism. Recent studies suggested that iodine deficiency or hypothyroidism can affect the neurophysiological development in children. Psychomotor defect and impaired mental function are also formed due to the deficiency of iodine. Next element is zinc. It is widely distributed in the tissues of the body. Adult human contain 1.4 to 2.3 gram of zinc. It is mainly present in the skin, bones, teeth and prostate glands. Other tissues, it is present in small amount. Coming to the sources of zinc, seafoods are the rich sources of zinc, while flesh foods are good sources. The zinc requirement of adult is about 15 mg per day. Coming to the absorption and retention of the zinc, 5 to 10% of the zinc is present in the diet is absorbed by the human body. Low molecular weight zinc binding factor is secreted by the pancreas and this factor form a complex with zinc and favor the absorption of a zinc in the small intestine. An average of zinc intake of about 10 mg per day. In this, 9 mg is excreted through the feces and 0.5 mg is excreted through the urine and the remaining 0.5 mg is restored in the body. The accumulation and turnover zinc occurs in soft tissues such as pancreas, liver, kidney and spleen. Zinc and copper binding protein which is similar to metallothionein is present in liver cytosol. The main function of metallothionein is to detoxify the heavy metal and storage protein for zinc and similar to the role of ferritin in iron storage. Next thing we are going to see about the metabolism of zinc. Improved wound healing property is possible due to zinc sulfate therapy. This is because of increased collagen synthesis. Zinc is present in gustin, which is a salivary polypeptide required for the development of a taste buds. Zinc is also required for the production of cytokine by monocytes and T cells. Zinc deficiency may lead to impaired immune function. Coming to the functions of zinc, zinc is present in number of enzymes in animal tissues which includes alcohol dehydrogenase, alkaline phosphatase, carbonic anhydrase and superoxide dismutase. The zinc metalloenzyme called retinine reductase which present in retina. It is essential for the reconstitution of retinine in plasma. Zinc is required for the mobilization of vitamin A from liver. If the vitamin A concentration is very low in plasma and are not improved by therapy with vitamin A, zinc supplementation is very effective. Insulin form complex with zinc and form crystalline. zinc-insulin complex which is prepared during the insulin purification. This complex is present in beta cells, islets of Langerhans, and release the insulin when it is needed. Zinc is essential for the normal growth and reproduction. Zinc and hormonal relation. The zinc deficiency is observed in subject suffered from a syndrome of dwarfism and affected genital development. Endocrine status of these patients revealed that they had hypopituitarism. Administration of zinc sulfate along with the diet influenced the height and genital development. Zinc is required for the synthesis of testosterone. The zinc deficiency can lead to decreased circulating testosterone and the occurrence of hypogonadism and delayed puberty. Zinc deficiency impairs taste, smell, and loss of appetite. Prolonged zinc deficiency causes lethargy, mental disturbances, and sleep disorders. It also causes slow wound healing and psoriasis. Decreased levels of zinc lead to infection. Deficient level of zinc increases the level of dihydrotestosterone that causes enlarged prostate or benign prostatic hyperplasia. Coming to the conclusion part, the major elements present in the food are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Many other elements also present and they are collectively called as mineral elements. Minimum of 25 mineral elements are present in food which are essential to our life. Minerals are the constituents of bones, teeth, and also soft tissues. They maintain acid-base balance. Minerals are essential for the formation of hemoglobin, enzymes, and hormones. Hormones control the activities in the body. Interrelationship of minerals and hormones play a crucial role in the body. Thank you.